Today's news highlights. Date March 20, 2025. News highlights. U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick warned that China is using U.S. chips to develop military power, and the United States is working with allies to strengthen export controls. He stressed that some companies illegally resell chips to China, contributing to security threats. The U.S. plans to further tighten NVIDIA's exports to China and pressure Japan and the Netherlands to tighten restrictions to ensure that the technology blockade is consistent. Taiwan's supply chain has become the key, and the US-China chip war continues to heat up. The U.S. is expanding its controls to maintain its leadership in AI and semiconductors and ensure that China's technological advantages are not exploited. News highlights. Shenyun Performing Arts Troupe began its Taiwan tour in Keelung on March 20, but was threatened with bombs by unknown people. Keelung Mayor Xie Kuliang stressed that there is zero tolerance for intimidation, and the police have strengthened security to ensure the smooth performance of the performance. Taiwan's Falun Dafa Society has condemned the CCP's interference with Shenyun over the years and called on the public to be vigilant against its cognitive warfare methods. Shenyun toured more than 80 countries around the world and was loved by audiences, and this year's Taiwan tour covered 8 cities with a total of 33 performances, showcasing the beauty of traditional Chinese culture. News highlights. On March 18, Eastern Time, Trump spoke with Putin for 90 minutes to discuss the Russia-Ukraine ceasefire and U.S.-Russia relations. The two sides agreed to stop attacks on energy facilities within 30 days and start peace talks. In addition, Russia and Ukraine will exchange prisoners of war on March 19, and Putin promised to guarantee the lives of surrendered Ukrainian troops. Trump stressed that a number of consensus has been reached on the peace agreement, and the NATO Secretary General has expressed confidence in his diplomatic capabilities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited Finland to discuss the plan for ending the war, and British Prime Minister Starmer spoke with Trump on the phone to express his support for Ukraine. Russia also proposed cooperation with the United States in rare earth mining and space exploration. News highlights. Nangang Lalaport will open on March 20, 2025, covering an area of 47,000 square meters, with about 300 stores, including Taiwan's first store brands such as Granif, 9090, and Comcoca, and introducing a number of Japanese restaurants. The mall is close to the MRT and exhibition halls, which is expected to attract business and exhibition crowds. Nangang consumers prefer light luxury and functional brands, and the business district has great development potential, but the spillover effect of people flow is limited in the short term, and the future impact remains to be seen. News highlights. The new Taipei city government announced plans for the new Taipei Arena, which is expected to accommodate 50,000 people and be 75 meters high, which will be larger than the Taipei Arena. 6 potential sites are currently being evaluated, and 2 are expected to be screened in August before the end of the year. Mayor Ho Yuyi will go to Japan in April to inspect Tokyo and Cebu Dome to learn from construction experience. The site of the new Peking University Arena will take into account transportation, development potential and residential interference, and is expected to become a venue for Asian baseball events and international events in the future. News highlights. Trump and Putin spoke for 90 minutes, and Russia agreed to stop attacking Ukraine's energy facilities within 30 days, but did not commit to a comprehensive ceasefire, and asked Ukraine to stop foreign aid. After the talks, Russia bombed Donetsk and will resume talks in Jeddah in the future, but there are still differences in the terms of a ceasefire and aid. News highlights. At NVIDIA's GTC conference, Huang unveiled the Isaac GR00TN1, the first humanoid robot base model, to accelerate the development of robots. Humanoid robots are flexible and can be used in unstructured environments such as restaurants and hotels. Despite the cost and technical challenges, mass production is expected in 2025 and the individual market between 2029 and 2032. With the advancement of AI technology, these robots will hopefully address labor shortages and improve productivity. News highlights. In 2024, the average salary of employees of 14 financial holding companies will reach 1.591 million yuan, an increase of 10.6% over the previous year. Yuanta Gold surpassed CITIC Gold with 2.022 million yuan to become the salary champion of financial holding, and was the only financial holding company to exceed 2 million yuan. Other rankings include CITIC Gold, $1.876 million, Mega Gold, $1.759 million, and Kai Fund, $1.748 million. The net profit after tax of the 14 financial holdings reached a record high, totaling RMB 597.96 billion, up 63% year-on-year. Yuanta Gold also led other financial holdings in terms of employee benefits, reaching 2.313 million yuan, the highest in the financial holding industry. News highlights. The Japanese government, through a cabinet meeting, decided to invest heavily in assisting semiconductor startup Rapidus, but the industry has reservations about its prospects. Inu was concerned that Rapidus' pursuit of state-of-the-art miniaturization was outdated and lacked sufficient customer demand to support mass production. He believes that the focus should be on advanced packaging technology, and suggested that Rapidus postpone its mass production plan and focus on R&D. Economic commentator Shigeki Koga agrees that Rapidus' chances of success are getting lower and lower, and suggests that the government should support existing companies or potential innovations, rather than over-investing in new ventures. News highlights: Taiwan stocks fell heavily yesterday, but military concept stocks bucked the trend and strengthened, attracting an influx of buyers, encouraging Hang Seng, Beiyi, Shengqian and other stocks to rise and become the focus of the market. Taiwan's defense budget will account for 3% of GDP and is expected to reach $20 billion, promoting national ship and national construction and weapons self-sufficiency, bringing huge business opportunities to the military industry. The defense industry relies on government bids, is less affected by short-term performance fluctuations, has a strong theme, and has become the focus of market funds. News highlights: Nvidia has become a leader in the AI boom in recent years, and its stock price has soared, but most of its internal employees are focused on their jobs and are unconcerned about the outside world. Veteran employee Von Justin said that Nvidia has a unique culture, low employee turnover, and most of them come from the old era, and have not developed a startup culture. Despite the high salaries, employees are still focused on their work and do not pay too much attention to their stock assets. Nvidia focuses on hiring for professional functions, which is different from other technology companies such as Google and Facebook. News highlights today, 20th, the central bank held a board of supervisors, and the bank's senior management expressed 3 major warning signs, calling on the central bank not to increase the size of the house. First of all, in order to cope with the wave of new Ching-in loans, banks can only borrow money to make housing loans, resulting in a decrease in profits. Secondly, due to the reduction of high-interest civil construction and financing, it is difficult to achieve the surplus target. Third, the rise in housing prices has led to the appraisal of pre-sold homes exceeding the threshold of luxury homes, and banks are facing regulatory risks. The senior management of the bank stressed that the processing of the new Ching-in loan is already under great pressure, and if the housing market control is strengthened, it will bring greater challenges. News highlights: so far this year, investors have poured nearly $22 billion into the short-term U.S. Treasury market, reflecting the uncertainty caused by stock market volatility and Trump's economic policies. According to EPFR data, U.S. short-term Treasury funds saw net inflows of $21.7 billion from early January to March 14, the largest single quarter inflow in 2 years. By comparison, inflows into long-term bond funds amounted to only $2.6 billion. Investors favor short-term government bonds, mainly to avoid the sell-off of risky assets. According to the BofA survey, the allocation to U.S. stocks was cut by the largest time ever in March, and showed an economic slowdown and expectations of interest rate cuts. News highlights: after the strong earthquake on April 3, 2024, the steel box girder dislocation and track deformation occurred in some sections of the new Taipei MRT ring line, resulting in the paralysis of Bangqiao to Zhanghe Station for 253 days, and the municipal government claimed 1.927 billion yuan from the construction unit Zonghua Engineering. The investigation by the supervision yuan pointed out that the design unit, Taiwan Shixi Company, and the supervising unit, the Taipei MRT Bureau, failed to fulfill their responsibilities. The damage appraisal report was questioned, the impartiality of the appraisal technician was questioned, and the design flaws of Taiwan Shixi were not questioned. The report does not include design deficiencies as claims, revealing that hidden dangers were buried at the design stage. News highlights: the family of the late South Korean artist Kim Se-ron recently sued YouTuber Lee Jin-ho for bullying, and Lee Jin-ho counterattacked on the 19th, accusing Kim Se-ron of being married and having an abortion, and pointed out that when Kim Se-ron's family questioned Kim So-hyun, Kim Se-ron was newly married to someone else. However, Lee Jin-ho's behavior sparked strong dissatisfaction among netizens, who criticized him for shifting focus and continuing to bully the deceased artist. Some Chinese netizens conducted audio analysis and found frequent editing traces in the recordings, questioned the authenticity of the audio, and accused Lee Jin-ho of trying to discredit the processed audio, criticized him for disrespecting Kim Se-ron's death, and even hinted at its second killing. News highlights today, March 20th, the largest shopping mall in Taipei City, Nangang Lalaport, officially opened, with a business area of up to 50,000 square meters, attracting the expectations of many people. The mall is home to about 300 brands and includes facilities such as Wuxiu Cinemas, the Japanese supermarket Lopia, and the children's vocational experience hall Kids Ania. However, the earlier rumor of parking fees as high as 200 yuan per hour, charged every half hour, has sparked heated discussions, and is twice as high as the parking fees of department stores in Xinyi District, such as Shinkong Mitsukoshi, Breeze, and Far Eastern department stores. News highlights: after Da.S. Su Ziwan died of illness on February 2 and was buried on March 15, the disposal of the Taipei Xinyi mansion with a market value of 460 million yuan before his death became the focus of attention from the outside world. This mansion was originally a top-floor household jointly purchased by Da.S. and her ex-husband Wang Xiafei. Although she has passed away, the future disposal of the mansion is still being negotiated. It is reported that the S family is discussing whether Wang Xiafei or Gu Junyi will buy this property, or whether it will be auctioned. The mansion is still subject to a monthly mortgage of more than $1 million, and if no one can afford it, the bank may seize and auction off the property. News highlights: the family of the late South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan publicly condemned Kim So-hyun, accusing him of having a relationship with the underage Kim Se-ryan and treating her distress messages with indifference. South Korean YouTuber Lee Jin-ho released an audio recording revealing that Kim Se-ryan had married an amateur man and had an abortion. The revelation sparked controversy, and the YouTube channel Hengzi Institute, which supports the family, said it would suspend the revelation and switch to reporting political news about former President Yoon Suk-yeol. News highlights: in 2023, there will be a child abuse death case in Taipei City that shocked the society, and the nanny sisters Liu Kexuan and Liu Ruolan were accused of abusing a 1-year-old boy to death, and they were prosecuted in April last year and tried by a national judge. Before the trial began yesterday, nearly 1,000 people gathered outside the courtroom to call on the court to reimpose the death sentence on the nanny sisters, and proposed to amend the criminal law to increase the punishment for child abuse. The judge said that he would handle the case in a fair manner, and the Ministry of Justice also responded that it would solicit opinions from all walks of life and consider the possibility of amending the law. News highlights: TS filed a lawsuit against Zhang Lan and Wang Xiaofei in 2023, asking the court to issue an application for act preservation, prohibiting them from publishing private content about her marriage, health, and children's lives on online platforms. The Beijing Internet Court ruled in 2024 that they should stop publishing relevant content and rejected Big S's request to ban Zhang Lan's account. The case is still ongoing. News highlights: U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent said in an exclusive interview with Fox Finance that the Trump administration will implement reciprocal tariffs on April 2, targeting the top 15% of countries with high tariffs on the United States and large trade volumes, and calling these countries the Dirty 15, and Taiwan is also on the list. Bessent stressed that countries can avoid higher tariffs by lowering trade barriers and give them a chance to negotiate. If these countries stop unfair trade practices, they can avoid tariffs. The move will be led by the Office of the United States Trade Representative, USTR, and will be staffed by about 200 staff. News highlights: with the extension of life expectancy, the old age payment after retirement has become an important source of income. In addition to the labor insurance old age payment and labor pension, there is also a hidden pension, that is, renewal pension. When an employee reaches the age of 60 and continues to work, the employer can contribute 6% of the monthly pension to the individual pension account and can apply for a renewal pension, with no upper age limit. According to the statistics of the Labor Insurance Bureau, in 2023, each person will receive an average of 66,218 yuan per year, and many elderly people will also benefit from this. News highlights: 1 in 10 people in Taiwan suffer from diabetes, and the number of diabetic patients under the age of 40 is increasing year by year, showing a younger trend. Dr. Li Dejun, chairman of the Grassroots Diabetes Association, pointed out that the main reasons for modern life are high pressure, busy work, and irregular diet, especially habits such as drinking handshake drinks, staying up late, and exercising less. Through personalized blood sugar control and weight management, timely intervention can effectively reduce the risk of diabetes. News highlights: high blood pressure usually occurs in older people, but long-term high blood pressure in younger people who do not respond well to antihypertensive drugs can be a warning sign of adrenal cancer. Physician Huang Xian pointed out that the latest research shows that up to 23% of people diagnosed with hypertension aged 18 to 35 suffer from adrenal gland lesions. Common symptoms of adrenal cancer include high blood pressure that is difficult to control with medications, and if it is accompanied by severe blood pressure fluctuations, drug resistance, metabolic abnormalities, etc., immediate screening for adrenal gland cancer is required. News highlights: on the 15th of this month, the Shabu Shale Weijio beef pot under the Mela Catering Group entered Ludong Town, Yunnan on a trial basis, but encountered a suspected food poisoning outbreak. 15 customers suffered from vomiting and diarrhea, and the Health Bureau intervened to investigate and asked the operator to suspend business. After inspection, it was found that there were hygiene problems in the store and the operator was asked to improve it. The industry announced the closure of business and carried out environmental cleanup, emphasizing that food ingredients have a certificate of conformity inspection and regular health inspection. If it is confirmed as a food poisoning case, the operator will face a fine. News highlights: the family of the late South Korean artist Kim Se-ryan recently officially filed a lawsuit against YouTuber Lee Jin-ho for bullying, but Lee Jin-ho counterattacked through YouTube on the evening of the 19th and released the recording, claiming that Kim Se-ryan had been married and had an abortion. Mr. Lee's actions sparked a backlash from netizens, who criticized him for shifting the spotlight away from the original incident and spreading inflammatory content. Many believe that such an approach not only obscures the truth of the incident, but also hurts Kim Se-ryan's image even more. News highlights: in the program Miss Bulletin City, Xiao S revealed that she was fascinated by Japanese boxer Kota Miura on Instagram, and humorously expressed that she wanted to punch him. At the end of the video, Kota Miura unexpectedly appeared, which made Xiao S cry with excitement and asked the other party to chase after him. The two interacted frequently, and Xiao S even happily patted Kota Miura's chest and asked him to touch his cheeks, showing her fan sister, and the atmosphere was relaxed and happy. News highlights: the U.S. Department of Defense expressed concern over the PLA's military activities around Taiwan and pointed out that our military conducted land and air exercises at the Pingdong Tri-Service Joint Training Base. The exercise used a variety of weapons, including rockets, cannons, etc., and was supported by the Air Force and Army Attack Task Force with artillery. The local people expressed their support, believing that the Taiwan military's actual combat drills could enhance its combat capability and show its determination to defend itself, stressing that only by strengthening its combat capability can security be guaranteed. News highlights: the Taipei District Court today heard the case of former Taipei City Mayor Kay Wen's and others involved in the case of accepting bribes from the floor area ratio of Jinghua City, embezzlement of political donations for public welfare, and so on. In the morning, Shen Qingjing, chairman of Wujing Group, and Ying Xiaoei, a member of the Kuomintang City Council, were arraigned to discuss whether to extend their detention. In the afternoon, Kay Wen's and Li Wenzong were arraigned, and Kay Wen's responded to the prosecution's indictment for the first time and will discuss whether to continue detention. This case has aroused concern, and Kay Wen's response and the issue of extension of detention have become the focus of the court hearing. News highlights: according to the American website Sportico, among the top 15 highest-paid Major League players in 2025, Soto and Shohei Ohtani are expected to break the $100 million mark. Soto's annual income is about $129 million, mainly from his contracts and signing fees, while Shohei Ohtani expects to earn more than $100 million through endorsements and merchandising, which would break the record for endorsement income for a Major League player. Shohei Ohtani's total revenue is expected to be $102 million, second only to Soto's $128.9 million. News highlights: political commentator Wen Langdong broke the news on the 19th, pointing out that Kuomintang legislator Li Yangziu used illegal buildings to carry out service propaganda next to the service offices in Niahu and Nanggong districts of Taipei City, and occupied fire alleys, affecting traffic. He pointed out that a police patrol box was also placed on the illegal building, which reminded him of the incident at Nan Quanhan's Salon Manor. After verification, Wen Langdong confirmed that the illegal building has existed since 2012, and has reported it to the Taipei city government, paying attention to whether Mayor Zhang Wanan will deal with the matter in accordance with the law. News highlights: the famous lyricist Liu Qiuchen passed away yesterday, 19, at the age of 76. Liu Qiuchen was an active lyricist in the 70s, writing lyrics for more than 3,000 Cantonese songs, and was listed as one of the top 3 lyricists along with Wang Chan and Cheng Kwok Kong. His classic hits include Pastoral Spring Dream, Whenever Changes, The Kindness of the Earth, 6 Tribulations of Floating Life and When People Shed Tears on the Journey. Liu Qiuchen has been attached to lyrics since he was a child, and in 1975, because of director Lin Delu's appreciation, he began to write lyrics for wireless dramas, and started his lyric writing career. News highlights: the plot of Good Luck Comes at 8 o'clock on Mint is full of climaxes, and Gao Haisheng, played by Luz Haihan, became Yang Wenbin after being reborn. His personality changed greatly, and he started an extramarital affair with Lai Yunhee after blackening. In the recent plot, Luz Haihan was found having an affair and was beaten by his mother Xie Kaiyingsuan and his wife Ho Yujun. Luz Haihan revealed that in order to interpret the evil spirit of the character, he designed details, such as eyes and small movements of picking hands, to make the character more treacherous. Xie Kaiyingsuan and Ho Yujun were full of firepower in the play, with superb acting skills, and quickly completed the scene. News highlights: actress Da.S, Su Ziwan, died of illness on February 2, 2025 at the age of 48, and was buried in the Jinbeisan Rose Garden on March 15. Before her death, she lived with Gu Junyi in a 460 million yuan Xinyi mansion in Taipei, and the future treatment of the property has attracted attention. According to reports, the mansion where Da.S lives still has a high mortgage, and he needs to pay more than 1 million yuan per month, and if he fails to pay, the bank may seize and auction it. The lawyer said that it is still under negotiation whether it will be purchased by Gu Junyi or the Da.S family, and in addition, the beautiful salon photos in Da.S' home are also facing preservation problems. News highlights: South Korean male god Kim So-hyun recently broke out that he was dating the late actress Kim Se-ryan when he was a minor, causing a series of controversies. Subsequently, South Korean entertainment celebrity Lee Jin-ho posted a video to break the news that Kim Se-ran had already been married, and released a recording of the conversation between Kim Se-ran and the personnel of the agency, revealing that she chose to get married after she was pregnant and was threatened. However, Lee Jin-ho's revelations sparked a strong reaction from netizens, questioning his authenticity and expressing dissatisfaction with the privacy exposure, accusing him of continuing to torture Kim Se-ryan's reputation after his death. News highlights: Da.S, Su Ziwan, slept in Jinbeisan, leaving a pair of children and hundreds of millions of mansions. The child has moved out of the mansion in Xinyi district, changed to Wang Xiaofei's rental house in Taipei, and continues to study in Taipei. Wang Xiaofei is in charge of guardianship, and the disposal of the mansion is still under negotiation, and if no one bears the mortgage, she may face a legal auction. News highlights: if the dishwashing detergent is not rinsed, residual chemicals may damage the intestinal barrier, leading to chronic inflammation and a variety of diseases. Studies have shown that ethanol ethoxylate is harmful to gastrointestinal health and dishes should be cleaned thoroughly. It is recommended to rinse frequently, use warm water and eco-friendly dishwashing detergent, and wash the dishwasher regularly to protect your gut health. News highlights: lawyers recommend that people over 70 years old, high-risk professionals and high-net-worth people make wills in advance to avoid inheritance disputes. If there is no will, the estate will be jointly owned, and it will be difficult to dispose of the assets. A self-written will is legally valid and can be distributed according to wishes, saving time and facilitating management. Planning ahead can also help you save money. News highlights: Kay Wens has been detained for nearly 3 months in connection with the Jinghua City and political donation case, and today he appeared in court for the first time. The Taipei District Court conducted preparatory proceedings and investigated detention issues, and prosecutors sought to extend the detention and break through the accomplice's confession. Kay's case is highly concerned, and it is expected that the court will be fierce in attack and defense, and the trial time will be difficult to predict. News highlights: Korean star Kim So-hyun was exposed due to his relationship with the late actress Kim Se-iran, and his image was severely frustrated, and his endorsements and programs were constantly cut. However, he will still come to Taiwan to participate in the Kaohsiung cherry blossom season on the 30th, and the organizers have not cancelled the event, which has aroused heated discussions and questions among Chinese and Korean netizens, and the topic has rushed to the hot search. News highlights: the recall of Soo Kyeoksun's group's application for an event in the park was rejected on the grounds that there was an activity of the same nature at the same venue in the same month. DPP MP Lee Meng-hwa broke the news that Soo Kyeoksun's assistant had borrowed the activity center in Songsan district from March to June, questioned the double standard of the city government, criticized Zhang Wannan for administering Yuxin, and the Taipei city government was reduced to Soo Kyeoksun's back garden. News highlights: a mountain disaster occurred in Kila Mountain, and a 17-member mountaineering team encountered heavy snowfall. 1 died and 16 people were trapped, and they did not bring snow equipment, causing public anger. The rescue was difficult, and the aircrew Black Hawk made 3 sorties. Shan Yupi had a low temperature warning but still took risks, and bluntly said that he did not deserve sympathy. News highlights: the Democratic Progressive Party caucus of the Taichung City Council set up a joint station to assist the people in recalling unfit legislators. Yan Quanhun's cousin Lin Xianhong appeared in support of the recall action, criticized the Blue Committee for being pro-communist and selling Taiwan's future, and called on the whole people to stand up bravely, even in the face of family pressure. News highlights: during the 4th trial of the pills case, Lottie cheerleading girl Linda appeared in solidarity and excitedly appealed, "Why use our money to raise these demons?" Holding signs with slogans such as "I'm sorry" and "Zero tolerance for child abuse," she strongly expressed her dissatisfaction with Taiwan's overly lax laws, and said that if she did not speak out, there would be more victims in the future. Her voice aroused the support of a large number of netizens, who left messages expressing their anger and support for the case and severely punishing her. News highlights: in just 1 year, Li Yang became a popular member of the Fubon Warriors cheerleading team with the 32 Collisions cheering song, attracting a large number of fans. A few days ago, she imitated Lee Zejun's hair ring photo when she interacted with fans live, which caused heated discussions among fans. Li Yang was wearing milk tea-colored pajamas, imitating Lee Zejun's posture, and smiled shyly during the live broadcast. The clip was reposted by fans and commented that she surpassed Lee Ju-hyun's imitation, and said that Ye Young's funny talent is becoming more and more apparent, making everyone love her more. News highlights: Kim So-hyun has recently been mired in controversy, because the YouTube channel Hengzi Research Institute revealed that he had been dating Kim Se-iran, a minor child star at the time, for 6 years, and released intimate photos and videos of the two. These revelations greatly damaged Kim So-hyun's image, and major endorsement brands quickly cut off from him. On the 19th, the Hengzi Research Institute revealed in the live broadcast that it still has a lot of evidence about Kim So-hyun in its hands, but in view of the imminent verdict of the impeachment case of South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, it was decided to suspend the release of more information, and stressed that it would continue to work hard to reveal the truth. News highlights: a 3-year-old boy in Baitun District, Taichung, drowned in a bath at home, and his father accused a fake Yuxiao who claimed to be Yuki at the scene of pressing the wrong position and pressing his stomach by mistake when assisting in CPR. The Taichung Fire Department explained that a license is not required to assist in CPR and use of AEDs, and the public can participate in the rescue under the guidance of ambulance personnel. The Bureau stressed that time is of the essence in first aid, promoted the concept of universal first aid, and encouraged people to help with guidance. News highlights: Huang Xiaosan, the leader of the Bamboo Alliance, recently died of illness, and was originally taken over by Liu Zhenyi's, the owner of Atang, but he suddenly cut off contact after Huang Xiaosan's funeral and chose to give up his position. Liu Zhenyi's refused to accept the position of gang leader because his business was affected and he was investigated by prosecutors. In the end, after discussion, it was decided that Gao Shixuan, the former head of the Qing Tang, would take over, although Huang Xiaosan's descendants did not express strong opposition to this. News highlights to S. Su Ziwan, unfortunately passed away due to influenza complicated by pneumonia during the Spring Festival, shocking the entertainment industry. Her ashes were buried in the Kampar Hill Rose Garden on the 15th of this month. According to reports, De owned more than 600 million yuan in property during his lifetime, including 2 luxury houses, one of which still needs to pay a monthly mortgage of 1 million. About the property disposal, the family is negotiating. De's children did not attend the funeral on the day of the funeral, but participated in a handicraft class with Wang Xiaofei's second wife Mandy, which aroused questions from netizens, and Mandy responded that the child should live a normal life. News highlights Chu Zongheng's wife, Vicky, recently invested in the opening of the Peace Bento and is personally responsible for the operation, revealing that she has invested a 6-figure amount. After 2 weeks of opening, with an undetermined turnover, she manages the store herself and updates the menu regularly. The couple has 4 daughters, and Vicky admitted that the family expenses of about 300,000 yuan per month are still living in a rented house and cannot afford the housing price in Taipei. Hua Chonghang fully supported his wife's side hustle and reminded her to pay attention to food safety issues and work attitude, as the catering industry is very hard. News highlights colorectal and anal surgeon Huang Yuchen reminds not to ignore the warning signs of blood and stool. Hemorrhoidal bleeding is usually bright red and adheres to the surface of the stool or tissues, while rectal cancer is dark red or mucus stool and needs to be diagnosed in combination with other symptoms such as weight loss, mucus in the stool, and thinning of the stool. Dr. Huang recommends that if the above abnormal symptoms occur, fecal occult blood test should be performed, and if the result is positive, colonoscopy and imaging examination should be performed to detect colorectal cancer at an early stage. News highlights physician Huang Yulun reminded that rapid weight loss may be a warning sign of diabetes. A 40-year-old woman who took diet pills and lost 20 kilograms in 3 months experienced severe hair loss. Tests revealed that she was diabetic and that her rapid weight loss had led to massive hair loss. Physician Huang explains that diabetes causes rapid weight loss and is accompanied by other abnormalities such as thirst. After treatment, the woman's hair volume gradually recovered. Physician Huang emphasizes that bariatric pills should be alert to health problems if they are accompanied by abnormal symptoms. News highlights there has been a surge in the number of line account takeovers, with officials reporting an 80% increase in cases reported in March compared to February. Scammers use methods such as account phishing, phone number theft, and desktop theft to steal accounts, and remind users to be wary that the line login page will not ask for an SMS verification code or click on the mobile account option. Scammers often lure users into clicking on fake websites under the guise of Vote for Pets, or steal authentication codes through fake advertisements. Line urges you to log out immediately and report to customer service if you find an abnormal login to prevent fraud. News highlights the Labor Insurance Bureau of the Ministry of Labor today, 20th, issued the National Pension Insurance Maternity Payment, Farmers' Monthly Retirement Savings and Old Farmers' Allowance. Maternity benefits are paid for 2 months at a time, and eligible people can receive nearly 40,000 yuan, 4 months if they give birth to twins, and 6 months if they give birth to triplets. The statute of limitations for the right to claim maternity benefits is 5 years, and it will not be paid after the expiration date. The old farmer allowance is 65 years old or older, and those who have participated in agricultural insurance for 15 years or more receive 8,110 yuan, those who have less than 15 years of service can receive half of the amount. Before the end of the month, 13 allowances such as labor insurance annuity and disaster insurance annuity will be issued one after another. News highlights the Trump administration has listed Taiwan as one of the Dirty 15, accusing Taiwan of imposing high tariffs on the United States and trading volumes. Taiwan's high tariffs, which can be as high as 55 to 61%, as well as extras such as a luxury tax, are used to protect Taiwan's auto industry, which is limited in competitiveness. Analyst Liu Xingzi believes that if the United States imposes equal taxes, Taiwan's auto industry will bear the brunt. He also questioned whether the European Union and Japan would follow the example of the United States and make reciprocal demands on Taiwan's tariffs. News highlights after the Lunar New Year, there was a surge in emergency department visits for diarrhea in Taiwan, with more than 210,000 visits last week, the highest since 2021 for the same period. According to Dr. Jayden's reminder, 98.7% of the cluster cases are caused by norovirus. It is important to note that there are 5 viruses that are not sensitive to alcohol, including norovirus, rotavirus, adenovirus, enterovirus, and rhinovirus, which cannot be killed by alcohol. Therefore, doctors strongly recommend that people wash their hands frequently with soap to avoid the spread of the virus. News highlights the Ministry of Economic Affairs will hold a meeting at the end of the month to decide on the price of electricity in April. Minister of Economic Affairs Kwok Chi-hui said that the increase in electricity prices will not be as large as in South Korea, and a balance will be found between the increase and price control. He pointed out that the reason for Taipower's accumulated losses is the freezing rise of electricity prices, and agreed that it is necessary to increase electricity prices, but will carefully discuss the increase to avoid excessive impact on people's livelihood. Guo Zhihui stressed that all factors will be considered to put forward the most suitable plan. News highlights: NVIDIA announced the launch of the Spectrum X and Quantum X Silicon Photonics CO packaged optical, CPO, network switch at GTC, which is the first major product launched by NVIDIA in the CPO field, and announced that the era of optical communication in the AI world is coming. This technology will be cooperated with TSMC, Honhai, ASE, and Boerewei and other Taiwanese manufacturers. Subsequently, the stock price of Boerewei soared to a new all-time high, and related Taiwanese stocks such as IETKY and Licky also performed strongly, indicating the market's enthusiastic response to silicon photonics technology. News highlights: the opening of Lalaport today has attracted the attention of local residents to traffic problems. Although the parking fee is relatively low compared to the expected 200 yuan, 60 yuan per hour on weekdays and 80 yuan on holidays, local people are still worried about traffic congestion caused by crowds. The mall emphasizes convenient transportation, and the MRT can directly reach Nangang Exhibition Center Station and Nangang Software Park Station, and it is only a few minutes walk. Although parking spaces are limited, people can consider taking the MRT or riding U-bike to avoid traffic congestion. News highlights: recently, Din Tai Fung's recruitment message has sparked heated discussions, and the monthly salary of dishwasher workers is as high as 43,000 to 45,000 yuan, with an hourly wage of 225 yuan on weekdays and 255 yuan on holidays, which is not far from the salary of nursing staff. The average monthly salary of nursing staff is about $46,894, and although there is little difference between the two, the nature of the work is very different, with nursing staff facing medical stress and irregular working hours, while dishwashers are subject to repetitive manual work. Despite attractive salaries, there are still shortages in the service sector, and wage increases have not completely solved the problem of manpower shortages. News highlights: NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said at GTC that NVIDIA was not invited to participate in the acquisition of Intel's stake and denied working with TSMC to form a consortium. Huang emphasized that the four major cloud service providers have strong demand for NVIDIA's Blackwell chips, noting that the market's misunderstanding of the impact of DeepSeek has actually helped boost demand for NVIDIA's chips. In addition, Huang revealed that NVIDIA has produced chips at TSMC's Arizona plant and downplayed the impact of short-term tariffs, emphasizing that it will move production to the United States in the long term. News highlights: Jerome Powell pointed out in a recent report that a large part of the current inflation problem is caused by tariffs. He also said that progress in tackling inflation could be further delayed. In addition, Powell stressed that due to the significant increase in uncertainty, the policy path cannot be determined, and officials will adjust accordingly according to the development of the U.S. economy. He mentioned that the likelihood of a recession in the United States has risen, but it is still not high. News highlights: Tong Zixian, chairman of Pegatron, emphasized that nuclear energy and green energy should develop together, and nuclear power has the advantages of stable power supply, low carbon, and economic benefits. Minister of Economic Affairs Guo Zhihui said that if the Legislative Yuan passes the nuclear control law, it will be implemented in accordance with the law, but whether the nuclear power units can make Taipower profitable still needs to be evaluated. He also responded that the water price increase is still under discussion, and the final decision will be handed over to the administrative agency, and said that if there is evidence to be presented, he will not comment. News highlights: meteorological expert Zhu Xingxing said that the temperature gradually rose on the 18th, and the weather was stable. From next Thursday night, due to the influence of the front, there will be localized short-term rain in Taiwan, and it will last until noon on Friday. The weather will be sunny and stable from Saturday to next Monday, and it will turn cloudy in Dongshan District in the afternoon on Tuesday and Wednesday. From next Thursday afternoon, there may be scattered brief rains in the mountainous areas of south-central Taiwan. Zhu Xingxing reminded that the forecast will still change after more than 5 days. Please pay attention to the latest weather information. News highlights: YouTuber Crowdweight Andy accused Jianing of taking away the channel, netizens supported him, and his personal channel Andy Teacher exceeded 2 million subscriptions in just 4 days and is about to win the gold medal. Jianing issued a statement to cut ties with her mother and stressed that she was not involved in finances or company operations. Although the number of subscribers to Jianing's new channel Secret Moon Papu exceeded 1 million, it still failed to surpass the Teacher Andy channel. So far, Andy's subscribers have reached 2.32 million, approaching size 2.55 million. News highlights: Shen Qingjing, the founder of Wujing Group, who was indicted for bribery, was emotionally charged at the Taipei District Court today, emphasizing his innocence and denying all charges. He described his deteriorating health in the detention center and pleaded for medical parole. Shen Qingjing said that the bribe was a shame that he could not accept, and strongly denied that he had paid 15 million yuan to K-Wens. He got up from his wheelchair when he had an emotional breakdown, accusing himself of being misunderstood and feeling bullied. The court will then decide whether to grant medical parole and the progress of the case. News highlights: a toddler drowning incident occurred in Baitun, Taichung, recently, and a 39-year-old father let his 3-year-old son play in the bathtub, causing misfortune. After the accident, a fake person suspected of using a first aid certificate number broke into the scene and performed CPR. The video shows that his first aid maneuvers were unprofessional, the pressure was in the wrong position, and his arm was bent, which raised questions. The fire department said that the pressure position was due to the electric shock patch on the child's body, but the patch was not seen in the video. I heard that the AED platform also confirmed that the person's identity was false, and his account has been blocked for investigation. News highlights: South Korea's YouTuber channel Hangju Research Institute recently broke the news of the Kim So-hyun scandal for several days, but announced a temporary suspension tonight because President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment trial is approaching. During the live broadcast, the Hangju Institute specially shouted to Taiwanese audiences in Chinese, emphasizing that it would focus on exposing Kim Se-ron's tragic incident first, and said that it would continue to expose Kim So-hyun's evil deeds after the trial. They stressed that they had a lot of evidence of the Kim So-hyun scandal and planned to continue to break the news after the trial. News highlights: the child abuse case shocked the whole Taiwan, and netizens launched a joint petition on the Public Policy Network participation platform, calling for life imprisonment or the death penalty for those who died of child abuse, which has exceeded 126,000 secondments. Pediatrician Yang Weijia also spoke out, emphasizing the importance of non-parole and calling on the community to pay attention to the issue of child protection. He criticized Taiwan's legal system for inadequate child protection and lamented tragedies such as the sexual assault of a baseball coach. The nanny sister involved in the case has been prosecuted, and the Taipei District Court will announce the verdict on May 13. News highlights: the Savage Hot Pot 3 Gorgeous store recently announced on Facebook that it will close on March 31 due to a shortage of manpower. The store said that in the past 4 years, it has experienced the challenge of the epidemic and the increase in the price of ingredients, but in the end, it is still difficult to overcome the problem of human strength. In the past, Savage Hot Pot was closed for adjustment due to food quality problems. The Hsinchu store was closed indefinitely after 2 days of trial operation, the Zhonghe store and the Lingkao store were closed one after another, and now the Three Gorges store has also come to an end. At present, only the Taipei head office and Hualien franchise stores are still operating. News highlights: S. Su Ziwan died of illness on February 2 and was buried in Jinbeisan on March 15. The Xinyi mansion in Taipei, where she and Gu Junyi lived before her death, has a market value of 460 million yuan, and there is still a high mortgage, and the S family is still negotiating to deal with it. The children of her and her ex-husband Wang Xiaofei moved to Wang Xiaofei's rented house in Taipei after the funeral, and the custody was transferred to Wang Xiaofei in accordance with the law, and the S family has handed over their passports and Taiwan compatriot certificates. The children will stay in Taiwan to continue their studies in the short term and will not move to Beijing immediately. News highlights: Huang Xiaosan, the leader of the Bamboo Alliance, passed away due to illness, and was originally intended to be taken over by Lu Zhenyiz, the former owner of Atang, who originally agreed, but after the funeral, he suddenly disconnected and refused to take over the position. Helped the elders of the middle school hold an emergency meeting, and finally elected Gao Xishuan, the former head of the Qingtang, to take over. The Jing'an Association has not expressed support or opposition. The news pointed out that Lu Zhenyiz's business was affected due to rumors of taking over, and he was investigated by the prosecutor and police, and after consideration, he decided to give up his position as the helper. News highlights: South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan passed away on February 16, a month after the incident. The family broke the news that she had been in a relationship with Kim So-hyun and sued YouTuber Lee Jin-ho. Lee Jin-ho counterattacked on the 19th and released the recording file, saying that Kim Se-ryan had already been married. The recording shows that she originally wanted to break up with her boyfriend, an office worker in New York, but got married due to an unexpected pregnancy, and later her boyfriend was dissatisfied with her concealing the marriage news, and the public wedding photos caused controversy. At the time, she called the photo just for fun, but the recording showed that it was the official statement discussed with the agency. The family has so far not responded. News highlights: Taiwan is setting off a wave of recalls, and 35 Pan-Blue legislators have entered the second-order joint signature, among which new Taipei legislator Ye Yuan's election is the most dangerous. Kuomintang legislator Xia Longjia said on the 19th that if Ye Yuanzi is recalled, the blue camp is afraid of defeat, which will become a breach in the DPP's layout for the 2028 presidential election. He stressed that the whole party should concentrate on rescuing Ye Yuanzi, and if it can succeed, it will drive the spillover effect, stabilize the seats of other blue committees, and ensure the victory of the Kuomintang in the 2026 new Taipei mayoral election, which will then affect the layout of the 2028 general election. News highlights: a 17-member mountaineering team climbed Kila Dongliang on the 15th and planned to descend on the 20th, but was trapped by heavy snow and strong winds. The 58-year-old Shan Yu, surnamed Li, collapsed and died near the Wei Pond on the 17th, and the team was trapped in the camp of the middle peak of the rock. Due to the bad weather, the search and rescue was blocked, until the weather cleared on the 20th, and the helicopter successfully hoisted 16 people down the mountain. News highlights: the 1-year-old boy, pseudonym, was suspected of being abused to death by his nanny the year before last, and the Taipei District Court held the 4th trial on the 19th. Recently, the public policy online participation platform launched a proposal for life imprisonment or death penalty for child abuse causing death, which has been supported by more than 110,000 people. The Ministry of Justice respects the proposal to amend the law and will solicit opinions from all walks of life. Outside the courtroom, nearly 1,000 people gathered in solidarity and shouted slogans such as "Zero Tolerance for Child Abuse," and the scene was emotional. News highlights: Chen Bian was involved in the murder of a Malaysian female college student surnamed Cai, and was sentenced to life imprisonment in the first and second trials, but the sentence was not commuted because she turned herself in. The Supreme Court reversed the judgment and remanded the case to the High Court for a new trial. The High Court today found that Chen Bian surrendered and commuted his sentence, commuting his sentence to 18 years in October imprisonment, and the case can be appealed. On October 13, 2022, Chen Bian was rejected for asking for money, strangled Cai Nu to death and then attempted suicide, and the case was exposed. News highlights: former People's Party chairman Cai Wen's was involved in the Jinghua City and political donation case, and the Supervision Yuan released an audit report on the 19th, pointing out that Cai Wen's violated the political donation law, fined him 3.74 million yuan, and confiscated more than 55.79 million yuan, and determined that the income from the sale of concerts and fundraising small items belonged to political donations. The report provoked a strong reaction from the head of the People's Caucus, Chen Zhaihan, criticizing the Supervisory Yuan's unfair punishment of Cai Wen's and questioning the judgment and standards of the Supervisory Yuan, arguing that Cai Wen's did not involve political donations in these activities. Chen Zhaihan said that he would file an administrative lawsuit and strongly condemned the actions of the Supervision Yuan, accusing it of being politically motivated and treated with double standards. News highlights: today, 20th, the Jinghua City case was reopened, and Shen Qingjing, chairman of Wujing Group, appeared in court again, and emphasized in court that he was in poor physical condition and hoped that the judge could grant bail according to the doctor's advice. Shen Qingjing still insisted on not pleading guilty, and repeated the accusation that the prosecutor had coerced a confession from him while he was on medical parole, although the Beijing prosecutor countered that it was only a routine inspection. However, recently, the media revealed that the prosecutor's letter to the hospital reads "interrogation in the hospital," which is inconsistent with the prosecutor's statement, which has aroused concern and controversy from the outside world. News highlights: the Tax Commando online game lottery held by the Kaohsiung Municipal Tax Collection and Collection Department raised questions because of the same name and surname of many winners. After investigation, it was found that the hacker surnamed Chen took advantage of the game's vulnerabilities to create more than 2,000 accounts and write cheating programs, increasing the probability of winning the lottery to 84.6%. In the end, Chen Nan was prosecuted for the crime of obstructing the use of computers and sentenced to 150,000 yuan in bail, and the investigation is still expanding. News highlights: in order to meet the demand for travel during the Qingming holiday, Taiwan Railway will open 4 additional flights of EMU 3000 New Zhejiang on April 3 and 6, and open ticket booking at midnight on March 23. Taiwan's high-speed rail will add 4 trains, 2 southbound and 2 northbound, and tickets will be open for purchase at midnight on March 22. A total of 201 additional trains will be operated between the two sides, and passengers can book tickets through the official platforms of Taiwan Railway and High-Speed Rail to plan their trips in advance. News highlights: South Korean actor Kim Sae-ryan died on February 16 at the age of 25. The family accused former journalist Lee Chun-ho and the Internet Acid people of responsibility, and announced a lawsuit. Lee Jun-ho broke the news through the video on the 19th, saying that Kim Se-ron had already married an outsider and had an abortion, and made public the recording of the conversation between Kim Se-ron and his agent. In the recording, Kim Se-ron admitted to the hidden marriage and married due to the man's threat, and revealed that the man was an employee of the company. Lee Jun-ho stressed that the family was aware of the situation and questioned Kim Sae-ryan's extreme choice. News highlights: fitness internet celebrity Zoe announced her pregnancy and revealed that she is currently in her 14th week. She used to be a child phobic and was worried about not being able to provide a healthy environment for her growth, but after a change of mentality, she and her husband worked together to prepare for pregnancy, and shared the support system and sports in the process to help her prepare for pregnancy. She thanked her husband for his full support, giving her weekly massages and sharing household chores, which made her feel reassuring, and said she was ready for the arrival of a new baby. News highlights: Lin Boang was very popular for the movie The Thing About Me and the Ghost Becoming Family, and his career is thriving, with continuous work and endorsements. He recently participated in the Hong Kong Asian Film Awards and attended an endorsement press conference, and when asked about Wang Gelu's military service, he was quickly taken away by the staff. He said that he was good friends with Wang Beijia and Xie Zinying, and did not respond positively to the rumors of the reunion of the two, only saying that they would recommend good things to each other. In addition, he said that for actors, age is not the definition, and aging is the course of life. News highlights: South Korean actor Kim So-hyun has recently been caught in a relationship with the underage Kim Se-ron, and his endorsement contract has been withdrawn and he is facing high compensation. The mainstream media did not report the fact of the Shuangjin exchange, which was criticized by public opinion. Jeon Hye-younghwa of Nikkei Sports wrote an apology demanding an apology from Kim So-hyun's company, pointing out that Kim So-hyun's company had denied a relationship and promoted fake news to put Kim Se-ron in a difficult situation. Jeon Hye-younghwa criticized Kim So-hyun for not attending Kim Se-ron's funeral and for not apologizing for the company's unfounded statement earlier, and if he had apologized earlier, perhaps the situation would have been different. News highlights: Kun, a member of the Korean group UP10TION, uploaded a handwritten letter on the official Dong Cafe on the 20th, announcing the good news of his upcoming marriage. He mentioned that he and his partner, who will spend his life together, have walked together in good times and bad, and decided to move forward into the future hand in hand. Kun promised fans that he would do his best to be a person who would not disappoint everyone, and urged fans to pay attention to the weather changes and wish everyone happiness. UP10TION debuted in 2015, and currently has 7 members in the group, with no new works released in the near future. News highlights: Su Ziwan filed a lawsuit against Zhang Lan and Wang Xiaofei's mother and son in 2023, asking the court to prohibit the disclosure of their privacy, but while the lawsuit was ongoing, she died of illness in February 2024. A Beijing court ruled in 2024 that Zhang Lan and Wang Xiaofei were required not to disclose private content involving Big S online. However, since Big S is deceased, according to local law, if there are no heirs, the lawsuit will be closed. If there is an heir, the lawsuit will be taken over by the heir, but since Wang Xiaofei is the guardian of her children, the lawsuit may be changed or withdrawn. News highlights: Korean star Kim So-hyun was originally scheduled to participate in the Kaohsiung cherry blossom season at the end of the month due to a pedophile controversy, but was boycotted by a large number of netizens and asked for a refund. The organizers stressed that the plan has not changed, and it will still proceed according to the original plan, and Kim So-hyun will also perform as scheduled. Although it is difficult for consumers to refund tickets for non-personal concerts, they can file an appeal. The organizers of the event also said that the issue of refunds will be discussed separately. News highlights: South Korean singer KCM, Kang Chong-mo, announced his marriage in 2021, but recently the agency revealed that he actually has 2 daughters. Before marrying his wife, KCM had a 13-year-old eldest daughter, and welcomed a second daughter in 2022. Due to past financial difficulties and the failure to complete the marriage registration, KCM has not disclosed the family situation and feels guilty about the eldest daughter. Now, he is finally brave enough to open up about his family situation, and says that he is very happy to have a complete family. News highlights: South Korean actor Park Seo-joon recently posted on Instagram mentioning horizontal, causing speculation that he may be satirizing Kim So-hyun for being involved in Kim Se-ron's romance. The post was echoed and commented on by the YouTube channel Hengzi Research Institute, and even received hundreds of likes. Park Seo-joon did not respond to this and continued to update his daily posts. Some fans felt that the matter was overinterpreted, pointing out that Park Seo-joon had a similar habit of posting in the past, and it was not aimed at Kim So-hyun. News highlights: the controversy between Kim So-hyun and Kim Se-ron continues, and Kim So-hyun's agency, gold medalist, issued a 12-page statement on the 18th to refute the accusations, pointing out that Kim So-hyun is currently living in retreat with his family. According to reports, Kim So-hyun felt very sorry after the incident and apologized to his colleagues and director. The core of the dispute still revolves around the length of the relationship between the two, with Kim Se-ron's bereaved family and some media demanding a public apology from Kim So-hyun, while the other side emphasized that the two sides had been dating as adults. It has not yet been determined whether legal proceedings will proceed. News highlights: Su Wien posted a post on the community late at night on the 20th to attract the attention of fans. She expressed her exhaustion and helplessness of her multiple roles on Threads, and asked 5 questions, lamenting that no matter how hard she tries, she often does not get the encouragement and support she deserves. She admits that despite her best efforts, she is always criticized for a little mistake and questions whether such treatment is fair. In the end, she emphasized that she just wants to be kind to herself now, and decided that she no longer cares how others interpret her actions, and said that she will continue to be herself. News highlights: YouTuber Crowdweight Andy since the 11th accused Jianing and his family of taking away the Crowdweight channel. The network reacted fiercely, and the voice of support for Andy was strong, and his personal channel Andy Teacher exceeded 2 million subscriptions in just 4 days, and quickly reached 2.32 million, becoming the 13th most subscribed YouTuber in Taiwan, close to Tsai Aga. In contrast, Jianing's image was hit hard, and she issued a statement on the 18th emphasizing that she had nothing to do with the company's finances, and cut off her relationship with her mother to create a new channel Secret Moon Papa to operate. Despite this, the response to the update of Jianing's new channel has been overwhelming, but the number of crowd subscribers has continued to decline, showing the gap between the two. News highlights U.S. President Trump announced on the 19th that he would sign an executive order on the 20th to close the Department of Education and return education authority to the states, which is also a long-term campaign promise. The order has been challenged by several Democratic state attorneys general and lawsuits have been filed to try to block the plan. The order also calls for an end to programs focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion and stresses that the Ministry of Education's funds should no longer be used to promote gender ideology. Trump had previously proposed a plan to shut down the Department of Education, but it was not supported by Congress. The signing of this order is expected to have a profound impact on public schools and student loans in the United States. News highlights in 2024, the presidential office will establish a whole-of-society defense resilience committee, proposing 5 main axes, covering civil training, strategic material development, energy and infrastructure maintenance, social welfare and medical care and evacuation facility preparation and information and communications, transportation, and financial cybersecurity. Regular urban resilience exercises are planned, the first of which will be held in Tainan on March 27, 2025, simulating complex disaster scenarios such as earthquakes, tsunamis, and damage to critical infrastructure. The drill will mobilize nearly 1,000 people and simulate the medical evacuation of mass wounded people from the explosion. President Li Qiang and Vice President Xiao Maikan will watch the scene of the director's practice. News highlights after Huang Xiaosan, the leader of the Bamboo Union Gang, held a farewell ceremony on the 6th. He originally planned to pass the position of the gang leader to Liu Zhenyiz, the former owner of Atang. However, after careful consideration, Liu Zhenyiz decided to give up his succession, believing that the position of helper would not help him in his future life and career. Subsequently, more than 30 hall masters and elders of the Bamboo Union Gang elected Gao Xishuan, the former hall master of the Qingtang Gang, to take over as the gang leader. In this change, the elders of the gang decided to follow the example of the 4Cs gang and set up a central standing committee to ensure that the inheritance process of the future gang leader is more standardized and avoid similar situations from happening again. News highlights Kuomintang legislator Li Yangziu was recently accused by political commentator Wen Langdong of using the illegal construction next to the Nangang Service Office to carry out service propaganda and set up police patrol boxes. Li Yangziu clarified today that the illegal building was not owned by her, and stressed that the use of the building in the service office was in accordance with the regulations of the Taipei city government. She said that the objects on the ground belonged to her mother and were not within the scope of the service. If the building is illegal, she supports the Taipei city government to deal with it in accordance with the law. Li Yangziu's criticism should be supervised by facts, not smeared and attacked. News highlights the new Taipei District Prosecutor's Office received intelligence information on the 19th, accusing a male police officer surnamed Tu of the Anhui Institute of the Don branch of the police system to use the police system to check personal information for friends and leak relevant information. After being interviewed by the prosecutor, the police officer surnamed Tu was prosecuted in accordance with the criminal law for leaking secrets and the personal information law, and was told to pay bail of 300,000 yuan. The policeman's background is a cause for concern, and his father, a senior prosecutor at the Taipei District Prosecutor's Office, has also recently been controversial over a private dinner with a senior DPP boss. Due to the special status of Tu officer, the prosecutor was extremely cautious in handling this case. News highlights Lucky, a pit bull who has bitten a person for the second time in North City, has been submerged and placed in an animal shelter and will be evaluated for adoption by other owners. The owner of the pit bull, a man surnamed Su, was fined 200,000 yuan for failing to properly manage Lucky in 2 incidents, which occurred on the 6th and 17th, respectively. However, so far, Su Nan has not shown up to visit Lucky, nor has he paid the fine. If the fine is not processed by April 7, the Animal Protection Department will be handed over to the Enforcement Agency for enforcement. News highlights Korean star Kim So-hyun was recently exposed by the YouTube channel Hengzi Research Institute for several days about his past with the late actress Kim Se-ron, about the two had a relationship. However, the channel suddenly issued a statement on the 19th, announcing that it would suspend its coverage of Kim So-hyun in response to President Yoon Suk-yeol's impeachment trial and focus on political news instead. The Hengzi Institute stressed that despite the temporary shift to political reporting, they still hold evidence of Kim So-hyun's evil deeds and are ready to expose them at any time. Kim So-hyun's affair with Kim Se-ryan and related revelations remain unresolved, and both Kim So-hyun and his agency have denied reports of intimate dating. News highlights on the 19th, the Taipei District Court reopened the trial of the case of Liu Kexuan and Liu Ruolan's sisters abusing a 1-year-old boy to death. However, lawyer Lam Chiquan said in a Facebook post that it was inappropriate to make child abuse death the only death penalty. He pointed out that legislative policy should take into account the possible reaction of the perpetrator, and if the law sets such crimes as the only death penalty, it may lead to nannies choosing to conceal the facts and not send the child to the hospital when the child is in danger, which in turn increases the risk to the child's life. Therefore, he believes that such changes to the law should be approached with caution. News highlights a woman surnamed Cao, a homestay lady in her 50s in Yulan, decided to sell her property to ease her burden because she was unable to repay her high loan. However, she was targeted by a scam syndicate during the property transaction. The fraudsters pretended to be CAO New to sign the remittance consent form and transferred the property worth 70 million yuan to themselves, without paying the due price. The scam syndicate introduced the buyer through a real estate agent and provided a false performance bond during the sale and purchase process, and in the end, CAO New did not receive the due payment, and the property and money were defrauded. News highlights: the Central Meteorological Administration issued a special report on low temperatures this morning, March 20th, and it is expected that from tonight to tomorrow, March 21st, morning, some areas of Hsinchu County and Miaoli County will have low temperatures below 6 degrees, and the temperature in other 14 counties and cities may also drop below 10 degrees. These low temperatures are mainly affected by radiative cooling, and the temperature is low, and the people in the relevant areas are reminded to take measures to keep warm. Low temperature warning areas include New Taipei City, Keelung City, Taipei City, Daowen City, Hsinchu City, Taichung City, Zhonghua County, Nantou County, Yunlin County, Qi County, Tainan City, and Yulan County. News highlights: on the 18th, Line reminded users that account theft cases increased by 80% in March, and the main methods include account phishing, phone number theft, and computer version theft. Scammers usually trick users into providing their account numbers and verification codes or scanning QR codes in the name of fake votes and soliciting online OEMs. Line recommends that users do not disclose the SMS verification code, avoid scanning the unknown QR code, and contact customer service immediately if they find any abnormalities in their account. News highlights: the U.S. Treasury Secretary mentioned that the Trump administration will impose reciprocal tariffs on the top 15% of countries with high tariffs and large trade volumes, with Taiwan listed as a Dirty 15 country. Liu Xingzi, a senior semiconductor analyst, pointed out that Taiwan's high tariffs and large trade volume are due to the fact that the industrial policy is biased towards large quantities and low gross profit foundries, and they have failed to obtain sufficient profits. He called for a gradual change in Taiwan's industrial policy, citing the impact of high tariffs on imports of gasoline and electric vehicles, and even questioned whether other countries would follow the example of the United States in imposing tariffs on Taiwan. News highlights from February 24 to March 19. Foreign investors have sold 17 times in a row, with an oversold amount of 545.096 billion, and the Taiwan stock index fell from 23,730 points to 21,960 points. Analyst Tim Locke pointed out that there was a record of 19 consecutive sales of foreign investors in the history of Taiwan stocks, which occurred from April to May 2004, when due to the Two Bullets incident and the impact of the presidential election, Taiwan stocks fell by nearly 20%. StockTNL believes that the continuous sale of foreign capital is not a coincidence, and there is always a reason behind it. News highlights: after DS, Su Ziwan, passed away suddenly in February, the outside world paid attention to her estate and related legal issues. Recently, the media revealed that DS had filed an application for behavior preservation against Wang Xiaofei and Zhang Lan to the court before his death, asking them to prohibit the disclosure of DS's private content, and the court has made a ruling. However, Zhang Lan still released a video talking about DS on the day the verdict was announced, so the court held a trial to deal with it, regretting that DS could not wait for the verdict. Zhang Lan then issued a counterattack, accusing someone of leaking the court injunction that had not taken effect, and demanding that the violators be investigated and punished.